It seems that every year at the moment, a new roller coaster opens that is more insane than any we've ever seen before. And as technology and stuff advances, we begin to push the boundaries of what's possible on a roller coaster. I mean, it's not really a surprise that they get better, but as we make more extreme roller coasters, do we get any closer to the limit of how much force a human being can tolerate? And if so, if or when will we get to a point where we can't push this any further? Well, I'm going to talk about it because I think it is a very interesting topic, and I mean, hardly anyone's covered it. And for that one person that's going to go on about how we hit 5Gs on boomerangs 25 years ago, that's not what this is about. First of all, how intense a roller coaster feels isn't just based off the max G-force it hits, because I'm also on about the way we can use those forces. Because despite maybe hitting the theoretical limits of what human bodies can really tolerate with G-forces, in the past 10 years we've been finding lots of new ways to produce forces which are a lot smoother, more thrilling, and can provide some quite different sensations. So if we keep developing the amazing recent roller coaster elements and layouts we've seen in the past decade, are they going to keep getting better, or are we going to hit the ceiling of roller coaster goodness? So the most obvious way we can see roller coasters getting better from where they are now is potentially seeing the first really huge, and I mean really huge, roller coasters to take on board these new elements and twisted airtime focus layouts. So I'm really talking about giga coasters here. 300-foot roller coasters with huge outer banks and things we haven't even imagined. Big man Alan Schilke has gone on about what he's going to do if he can build a roller coaster 300 foot, saying that his huge roller coasters aren't going to be like his smaller ones, and there's going to be elements and things on there we haven't seen before.
Like other companies build bigger rides and they just look like the same ride bigger. My rides won't look like that. The bigger I can go, they're more things you've never seen.
Although we're looking forward to the one day where we will maybe get a huge T-Rex coaster, as they're calling it, from RMC, we are still not too far away from Falcon's Flight opening in 6 That's not going to open. But anyway, if this huge new world's tallest roller coaster opens in the Middle East, it's going to be built by Intamin, and maybe they will start to incorporate this kind of thing into it. And we've seen kind of early layout things, but they're just rough. That, you know, they haven't taken the time to create an official layout. So when they have designed the layout for that ride, we might see some of the new style elements on it, but it's hard to say with that. Now, after researching for this video in heavy quotation marks, the No Limits 2 YouTuber Immelman Footers has some very good examples of the kind of elements I'm talking about that we could see on these bigger coasters. Many of these things are outer banks or wave turns kind of incorporated into inversions with stalls, kind of like taking the idea of Untamed's 270-degree corner stall, making it huge and adding some more weird rotations and outward banking sections to it. This is the kind of thing we can make when we go huge with these new layouts, and there's a bright future there. Now, what is also interesting, as well as building taller roller coasters, is what we're going to be able to do with newer coaster models. Now, the main thing I am talking about here is the single rail coasters. We've seen RMC start to build them, seen Intamin start to build them, maybe some other companies might start to do them as well. But with these single rail coasters, especially the ones that have one rider per row, it means you can pull off some more extreme elements. And the reason for this is mostly because the rider is straddling the track, basically. So it means that heartlining the track, which is where you kind of set the center of rotation for the track around the rider rather than around the track when you're banking, is made a lot easier when the rider is lower down, because because the track doesn't have to curve out as much from the rider. So because that's made easier, it means you can pull off tighter turns and faster banking and that kind of thing. Also, the huge range of motion and articulation in the trains just means that, again, you can pull off tighter elements and things, and you can see this in the RMC Raptors that have already been built. All of those turns are insanely whippy, and when you watch it for the first time, it doesn't look real. So there's lots of ways roller coasters can get better. But another thing that has been changing a bit recently is wooden coasters, because we have seen wooden coasters from RMC that have got really strong airtime, and we have seen wooden roller coasters that aren't that recent pull really high negative Gs, like El Toro. But with GCI announcing their hybrid roller coaster track, new trains and inversion capable things, there's definitely potential for wooden rollers. Oh, shut up. For wooden roller coasters to get a lot better, especially from GCI. We're going to definitely see stronger airtime and more extreme ones from then. It looks like they might be incorporating bits of wooden coaster section with bits of hybrid coaster section, like when they need a stronger structure on inversions and stuff. It's going to be really interesting to see where they go with this, and that's just another example of how roller coasters are getting better. And of course, there are some completely new coaster types we haven't seen yet. B&M Surf Coaster is going to be a thing pretty soon, and I don't really want to comment on it that much though, because I haven't been bothered to really dig into it. But yeah, so it's a new coaster model, alright. The S&S Axis coaster is also a new coaster model that is bringing things we haven't seen before, with the train swinging so you can be on top or underneath the track, and it's going to be really unpredictable. That's kind of cool. And there's probably more coaster types we haven't imagined yet. Despite all this though, pushing the intensity of a roller coaster to the max a human can experience without having lots of people pass out isn't the way forward. I don't know why I said that, because this entire video has been about modern coaster layouts. I just wanted to make a funny joke about Intimidator 305. But yeah, pushing a roller coaster to the limit of forces that the average human can realistically experience isn't a good idea, because Intimidator 305 did that, and it wasn't necessarily the most popular with the public. But the main thing that allows roller coasters to be better is how smooth the track can be and how smooth the ride experience can be. And you might think, well, what, that's not got anything to do with intensity? Well, it does. Back in the 90s, when B&M were a new company, they managed to innovate by making roller coasters really smooth, and with that they brought new types of elements and things like that. The same thing happened about 10 years ago with RMC. They brought in really smooth tracks, and RMCs are very smooth apart from maybe the wooden ones, but anyway, they did that and brought in new trains that have something to do with, and as well as that, they brought in swing axle trains, and I'm not gonna bother explaining that because I'll probably get it wrong, but things like that have made them really smooth. And when you have a smooth coaster, you're able to have transitions that are that little bit faster and elements that are a bit more extreme, just because it's going to be more comfortable for the rider. So yeah, we might be able to go up to about as much G-force that the average human can experience safely, but the way we make roller coasters better is by making them smoother, and I think we've definitely seen them get better in recent years. Now, as a summary to answer the question, can roller coasters get any better? Well, they can definitely get better for a few more years yet, even though at some point we might kind of meet the limit of where we can take layouts. We can maybe still make them bigger as technology advances, but what you have got to bear in mind is it actually desirable for a park to push these limits? Of course, enthusiasts love it, but it's gonna scare most people that ride them. Personally, I hope they keep getting better, and I also hope you subscribe. Do it now. But yeah, thanks for watching. Feel a bit weird making videos at the moment because I'm a bit out of ideas, and then after I've finished recording one, I always think, why on earth would anyone want to watch that? That was unstructured and disjointed. But anyway, apparently, I want to have some appreciation for you lot, because you're actually very good at smashing that like button. God, it kills me to say that. But yeah, you're pretty good at that. I mean, most videos that get like 100 views, they have like 20 likes, so that's pretty epic. I'm done here for now. For funny meme.